Hello and welcome and good evening to the Car Sim and Race Driver Show. And tonight we have two Asian sensations. That's right, it is. It is Chupaghetti TV and Danny Racing. Good evening to you both.
Hey, good evening,
Good
guys.
evening.
Yo.
Now, Chupaghetti, I'll go with you first. You have been requested for a long time on this show. People who have been watching have said, you have to get Chupaghetti on your show. You must do it. You must do it. So we finally got you on, and we're here to see exactly what you're all about. And in the title, of course, I only thought it was just you. But literally minutes before we started, your good friend Danny Racing came on and said, I want to come on the show too alongside. So we got it sorted out. And now we have two for the price of one. So it's good to see you both here on the show tonight. And I know it's 9 o'clock over in the Philippines. It's probably even, is it later than that in Malaysia? But it's going to be great to see you all. And feel free to put your comments in the chat. And welcome to everyone who is watching from all over the globe. I will start with you, Chupaghetti. How did your sim racing and gaming career begin? How did it all start?
Well, for me, I just absolutely loved the cars, I just fell in love with the cars when I was just a little boy, and it just simply progressed from there, starting with collecting those small matchboxes, the Hot Wheels, and then it all started with that alongside video games, and it just took off from there. So yeah.
And have you played lots of like GT Sport throughout the years and things like that?
In terms of Gran Turismo, I started playing Gran Turismo when GT1. So I've been loving the franchise ever since I bought Gran Turismo 1. And I would like to say that, Gran Turismo has probably changed a lot in my life, influenced a lot of stuff in my life. Yeah. And I won't be who I am today if not for the influence of Gran Turismo. So really very important thing that happened in my life there. So yeah.
Wow. And is it just Gran Turismo that you like to play, or do you play other racing games as well?
I do play some other racing games, but the main priority right now is really GT. Mm-hmm. But I do play some of the other games, but not really as much as I play GT. So yeah.
Yeah. And how about you, Danny? How did your love of gaming and how did your kind of gaming career begin?
Well, it kind of started also when I was young, probably when I was like 4 or 5. I got my first PlayStation, which was PlayStation 2. And back in the day, I used to play like Formula One games. I wasn't like most of the other Gran Turismo competitors who played older GT, because I used to play a lot of Formula One games like F1 04, 05, 06, and then the Codemaster series. So I was originally from that sim racing background, and I started to get really serious into sim racing, as in becoming a pro sim racer in 2018. So quite recently, actually 2 years ago, when I first started college. And I really liked seeing F1 2018, how real it looked, and I just wanted to get more involved in sim racing overall, and I want to learn how to be competitive early on. So, and then I got introduced to Gran Turismo, specifically Gran Turismo Sport, in the beginning of 2019, and I was instantly blown away by everything about Gran Turismo Sport. So I started to play a bit more Gran Turismo, and then I got my PlayStation 4, and then I just put in the hours, into increasing my skill level, my driver rating, and competing, and just learning, trying to learn as much as I can to how to be the fastest, among the fastest. And here I am today. It's been a long journey, and it's just the beginning.
That's fantastic. Well, we'll get into your pro sim racer experiences in a little while, and I'll come back to Chupaghetti. Now, you have got a phenomenal channel there, Chupaghetti. It's kind of like a pop idol And the way that you do it, when you have your pictures of the girls dancing away in the background there, and I thought this is like nothing I've ever done before in an interview. So,
I love the
what?
women. Don't get me wrong. I just absolutely love the women. So it's the beautiful women all across the world are my motivation. So I do all the things that I do just so that we can satisfy those very sexy women. So I love them. I love them. Shout out to all the women watching. I love you all. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And you've got a massive following as well on Facebook, 171,000 following on Facebook, which is huge, and which really says something. But how has it all come about? How did you manage to be so successful on social media?
I mean, in terms of being successful, I don't really consider myself as somebody that's really absolutely, successful or anything. Um, I want to consider, what do you call this? Me just an average Joe. I mean, everybody that, if anybody would like to talk to me, anybody would like to hang around with me, you're free enough to do so. I don't want to think
Yeah.
of me as somebody like a celebrity or something like a big guy that you couldn't even approach at whatever. And with that being said, what is my term? Probably the question best to ask to me would be, what would be my definition of success? Maybe
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so if we're gonna be looking at success for me, um, I think the most important thing is the failures.
Mhm.
If without these failures, you wouldn't be who you are today. It
Yeah.
wouldn't make you the man that you are today if not for the failures that you've experienced in life. All the shit that you've experienced. Sorry for the word, by the way.
No,
Sorry for
that's
the
all right.
word,
No,
but
I've warned
just
people that could
being
get
yeah,
to.
we're just being absolutely completely
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, it's for you to become really successful, you have to have a lot of failures.
Mhm.
And those failures will make you a better person, whether you'd be racing, whether you'd be a businessman, whether you'd be whatever it is that you're going to be doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think the failures are very important. So yeah, that's my definition of it. So yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, that is very good. And I think that's the thing, because when we go sim racing, so many of us, when we play GT Sport, we want to try and do as best we can. We want to try and do well, and we try and maybe race fair, or we might not race fair. We might be a bit dodgy here and there. We've all had our moments of anger, haven't we? If someone does it, are you admitting to that? Are you admitting to that, to begin? But,
I will retaliate on those that will destroy my race. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm completely honest. So yeah.
yeah. I know it's that's the thing, but we're all trying to get faster and trying to do better, and it's very true, because you learn from your mistakes, don't you? When you first start on GT Sport, you start at the bottom, you start at the back of the grid, and you're learning to get faster and quicker, and eventually you manage to get to hopefully where you want to go. Where is your target, Chupaghetti? Where is your target on GT Sport? What would you like to be achieving with that game?
Well, for me, like I said earlier, Gran Turismo has influenced my life quite a huge amount. I've had opportunities in Gran Turismo for quite a long time. So if I'm allowed to share some of the
Yeah,
experiences,
absolutely. Yeah.
I've been part of the 2015 GT Academy. I was a
Wow.
Philippine representative. I went there in the UK back in 2015, representing Philippines for GT Academy. And then I also had an opportunity back in 2018 to go into the World Tour in Salzburg, but unfortunately got disqualified because I was Filipino, and that we were not allowed to participate. But that's okay. And then just recently, I think just yesterday, I am actually going into the Porsche Asia Pacific final.
Wow.
So me and Danny have qualified to be in the final. So
Fantastic.
And then there's a couple of other things like this one right here. This is like the Toyota GRGT in 2020, where I
Oh,
luckily
yeah.
got the championship, uh,
Wow.
and got to and I was racing in the regional finals too. So lots of things happening in Gran Turismo Sport. It's really quite a good, really good experiences, good opportunities, and yeah.
Yeah,
Did
I
I?
think
Yeah.
it's such a great game, and of course now GT7 is not too far away, and in March the 22nd for the launch, certainly here in the UK, and we can't wait for that. But what are you kind of expecting for GT7? What would be your kind of hopes for the game?
I'm hoping for more competitions. That's number one. More competitions. More uh, more FIA races. I would assume,
Mhm.
and those will probably open up new opportunities once GT7 comes out and we try and compete in those competitions. So the goal, the main question is the goal, right? So what
Yeah.
is the goal? What is the goal? The goal, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the goal is. The goal is to be a better driver. So
Mhm.
the goal is actually just to be a better driver and give our fans a good show every time we go racing. So that would be the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Excellent.
would be.
Now
Yeah.
we've got lots of good questions coming in here, and I will get round to them by people who are watching and commenting in the chat. And they've said, "Is Danny going to get interviewed as well?" And I said, "Yes, we will. We will manage it. I'm just trying to fit it all in and go from question to question. So yes, we are. But hopefully, no one's going to feel left out. I'll do my best to get round to Danny as well. But there's got a few quick questions here, and one is from TTR Benson, and he says you have to ask Chuba about Benny Barocca. If I pronounced that right.
Benson, you naughty boy. Benson, you're a naughty boy, Benson.
I have no
Oh.
idea what any of that is about. So
Well, we can skip that one. We can skip that
skip that one.
one.
Okay,
We
so
can skip
that's
that one. We can skip that one. Yeah.
clearly not for publication. That is fine.
Benson, Hugh doesn't know anything about it, so. Ay.
Now, you've been asked about to ask about your real life racing. What is the race car in his garage? Now you must have an interesting racing car in your garage. That must be that on GT Sport.
So yeah, I have a Honda Civic Type R in my garage. So that's it's actually, well, should I say it's quite heavily modified with only 2 seats, everything stripped off of it, race suspension put in. The motor is actually built for the track, and well, it's quite hard to drive it every day since it's a race car. So yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That sounds fantastic. And quickly from Stephen Scott, he said, "Did Chupa take dance lessons?" Now,
what? What?
I suppose because maybe he sees, yeah, exactly. He sees all your dancing girls on your.
Oh,
on your
oh
video.
yeah, of course. Oh yeah, of course, of course, of course. I mean, I'm so sexy. Oh yeah.
So you're a bit like a Filipino pop idol. Is that the kind of image that you want?
I'm not a pop idol. I'm just a wannabe. I'm just a lousy wannabe pop idol. So yeah.
Now you'll be relieved. You'll be relieved to know, Danny, I'm not going to ask you the same questions.
It's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
What if Danny dances for all of us tonight? No, that's gonna be super sexy.
I can't.
If we see Danny dancing tonight, that's gonna be absolutely funny. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I can't dance. I apologize in advance to the viewers. But I can't dance.
That's all right, Danny. I am completely with you. I can only dance under very poor disco lighting, where nobody can see me. But, that's the one. But, but on a sim racing note, what makes you, Danny, so fast? Because to be a pro sim racer, you've got to be incredibly fast. What would be your tips for people watching as to how to get faster?
Mainly, when people ask me this question, in terms of Gran Turismo specifically, I always tell them to watch the top 10 times first. Always watch that. While you watch the top 10 times, always take note of every braking input, every steering precise inputs, what gear you use at the corner, and also look at the speedometer. You got to see what kind of speed you got to take into the corners. Say if you're in specific cars, where they have a different types of gearboxes. Look at the shift points, when to shift, and yep, just analyze every small detail because those crucial details would help you improve your lap times and just lap as much as you can, but also try and make as much improvement as you can while you lap. The more improvements you make, the more consistent you can be overall.
Excellent. No, that is really good. Now, for the both of you there, there's a message from Mr. Cuts fanboy, but unfortunately, it seems to
Mr.
be.
Cuts fanboy. What
But
the?
yeah,
Hold up.
but he is speaking in a different language,
Easy.
so I'm not sure what he's saying because it's in a different language. But if any
Oh,
of you can
okay.
recognize
Okay.
the language that he's talking in, then we can ask the question. I'm sure it'll be
I
fine.
will have to go to the broadcast on my phone. Wait. I have to go and check it out. Mr. Cuts fanboy. Who
Mr.
the
Cuts
hell?
fanboy.
Who the hell?
But,
Wait. I have
Oh,
to. What
I don't
language
know
is it?
that.
What language is it?
I'm not
I think
sure.
it's
It could be
Czech
Norwegian
because
or
it's addressed to Nick.
Nick.
Yeah, I'm Nick.
another Nick. Oh well. I just
Oh.
didn't have a. Well, no, we can try and
Oh.
think. Now, someone has asked you. Let me just quickly go back to that. Here we go. Will there be Chupaghetti? Will there be a karaoke stream?
Karaoke stream. Oh.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know. I haven't thought about it yet. But karaoke stream. Interesting.
That could add to the atmosphere of your one when you win a race.
Oh.
But and
That's
also
gonna be something else. That's gonna be something else, I guess.
and ERM Nick has said Danny needs to sing a Miku song. I don't know what a Miku song.
Oh.
I'm not a good singer. I can't sing. Sorry.
Oh dear,
Oh.
Danny, you can't sing, you can't dance. You're admitting that on live TV. My goodness me, But you're a pro sim racer, and you can win all these races, which is something that
I don't
now,
win everything. It's still a learning process. Yes, I can compete, but in a high level. But I'm still learning. I'm learning how to still get faster because it's not the finish line. It's just every day is still a starting line.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Now, for the both of you, I'll start with Chupaghetti. You were telling us about your Honda Civic Type R race car that you run around in. But for doing all these racing games, was part of your motivation that you thought, well, if I do well in these games, just perhaps we might have a chance to have a go in real life and race as well, or has that maybe happened for you?
So for people that don't know, how can I say? I used to be a racing instructor for
Oh,
a
wow.
racing school here in the Philippines. So I've worked with them for around 8 years, 8.5 years as a senior racing instructor. So, if you guys are wondering if I have any like sort of background in real life driving, real life racing, I think I have a few.
Yeah,
I think I have
wow.
a few.
Yeah.
I think I have a few. So I used to that used to be my work. That used to be my job back then when I was still younger. Right now I'm just absolutely an old fart, I guess. So yeah. I mean, I've been doing it for really quite a good amount of time already in my life. Ever since I was a little boy, the cars are usually just around me. You know,
Yeah.
I was the type of guy that didn't really finish school, so I didn't actually
Mm.
finish school. For everybody to know, I never got to finish my studies, never graduate. And I didn't even graduate anything. I am a BS macho dancer. A Bachelor of Science in Macho Dancing. That's me. So um I never really got to the luxury of finishing school, graduating, and everything. Um, but I used to really struggle a lot in my life back then, and probably until now. I really, really just struggle,
Mm.
and a part of me growing up and until where I am today, cars. It's just I've been always been revolved around the
Mm.
cars, the games, and I'm just very happy. I'm just a happy guy trying to shake my body and just having a lot of fun with the cars and the video games and with all the people that I get to meet. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, here's a great question from Ernest Guevara for the both of you.
Mm.
It says, what would you name your sexiest car in your GT Sport garage?
What? No, I let Danny go first on that one. I'll let Danny go first.
The
No.
sexiest car in my garage. Well, the sexiest car in my garage would be my favorite car in sim racing, which is the Red Bull X319 competition. I'll probably name it Hatsune Miku. I name it
I'm
after,
not surprised. I'm not
yeah.
surprised. Why am I not surprised? What the? I,
It's
if
simple. It's simple.
yeah, I know. But you guys probably wouldn't want to know mine. You guys probably don't know. You guys probably won't be interested to
Is
know
it
what.
broadcastable? Is it?
It is actually broadcastable.
All right
It's
then.
YouTube legal. It's
Yeah, is
YouTube
it?
legal. So, but I don't think you guys are interested about it. So, but for those who are interested to know, um, it's the Samba bus.
Yeah, the Samba bus. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it's the
They
Samba
are
bus.
fun. They are
They're
fun, actually.
they're bloody fun. They're
Yeah.
absolutely bloody fun. And you guys know, you guys probably know what I would call the bus. Oh, you guys would know what I would call the bus.
We can leave that to our imaginations, for sure.
Yeah.
You guys know. You guys know. I'm sure you guys know. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now, Topher Tejada has commented saying karaoke streams with the dancing girls. Oh my goodness.
Oh
With the
yeah.
exclamation.
Yeah. That's gonna be with all the beer. With all the beer, yeah, we're definitely gonna be fun. Yeah.
And they are. And Ari Shadow has said Samba Bus Rally is where it's at. Have you tried it on dirt tires? The Samba Bus on dirt tires doing a
No.
rally track. Oh, it's
No.
great fun. It's lethal.
No, I
But
haven't. I haven't.
it's great fun. That now, and here's a good question, a very sensible question from Iron Mike. It says to both of you, how important is the racing equipment that you use? I'll start with Danny.
Yes, so that's a very good question. Currently, I own a Thrustmaster TGT, which I've had for 2 years, and of course, I previously have owned the T300 and started off with a Logitech G29, um, and the TGT beats those two wheels night and day, because it's the best ever wheel for Gran Turismo, and you can really feel the handling of the cars, and you can feel the weight, the tire wear, everything. It's just 100% perfection, and you really help improve your pace compared to the other wheels, which might not have the same feedback correlation
Yeah,
between the game and the Trustmaster TGT being built specifically for Gran Turismo Sport and Gran Turismo 7.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just beyond perfection because it has all the specific models and everything which help generate the accuracy in terms of the feedback, so you can really understand how to drive certain cars in the game and to be fast with it overall.
That's why I say I've got a G29 pedals and steering wheel, and now I'm blaming that completely on why I'm so slow. But
I started on the G29 as well, and but I was quite new back then, so I
yeah,
wasn't.
it does definitely say load cell pedals seem to be it. All the top guys seem to say that's what you need, isn't it? You need load cell pedals and a good wheel that kind of
I
gives you
just got that one. I just got those pedals, and right now, it's only 5 days old, and I'm telling you, I can attest to that. I came from the normal pedal, and then just 5 days ago, I got the TLCM Thrustmaster load settle pedals installed. And I noticed that there's a big improvement on my end, especially on um, tire degradation.
Right.
I'm saving a lot of tires right now. I can trail brake more. I feel much more of the car because I'm very limited with the T300. I mean, it's not like the TGT because we don't have it here in the Philippines. And with the TLCM pedal, I think I'm not sure, but I think I actually am improving. So
Yeah.
but it's still fairly new. It's just 5 days old, so still taking a
Yeah,
while to try to understand them. So yeah.
I saw your video with that one, and then the picture that you had of the box of the pedals coming. So that's the thing I need to get next is load cell pedals, because I think that would help an awful lot. And eventually I'll get a new wheel too and get a better setup. But this one, I have to say, I've got the play seat challenge. I've had this for 4 years with the whole setup, and it's so much more realistic. It makes the game so much more fun when you're not playing on a pad and you're actually got the wheel and the pedals everything to kind of make it work. It's like kind of almost a breakthrough when you get it, the kind of revelation of what it's like. But here I've got some more questions for you. Now here we are from Hans Sirox B1 Jammy.
Hansi.
From Hans. He says, "Will you do an Asian sensation racing school in GT Sports, Chupaghetti?"
Asian Sensation G Racing School. I have no idea. I have no idea. I have no idea how to do it. So let's see. I have no clue how to do it, but let's see.
Let's see.
Good work.
Well,
let's see.
and also here's a good question for you. This is for Darren as well, but I'll put it out to both of you. Tips for saving tires. That is ERM Nick has asked that one.
Tips for saving tires. I think I'll answer that. Tips for saving tires. First of all, okay, this is a two-part answer. The first part would be if you are in a FR car, to ideally you want to save the front tires more, since the weight of since the weight is towards the front, so the front tires would be taking a lot more of the beating in terms of the tire wear. So my advice for saving tires on FR or even FF cars would be to shift the rear brake bias to the rear and also brake smoothly in the heavy braking zones to avoid putting a lot of pressure on the front tires in the race. And especially if you're in slipstream, you can trail brake. Don't smack on the brake. Just have a smooth braking input to not to actually push up the tires as well. The same technique can apply in like mid-engine cars or four-wheel drive cars, except that in the mid-engine cars, where the engine is towards the rear of the car, you have to use bring the brake bias towards the front, so you avoid when you can brake hard while not putting so much pressure on the rear tires, so you can still have better traction without having the risk of wheel spinning. And just be very, very gentle with your steering inputs for both FR and MR as well. And if you're in a four-wheel drive, well, it's the same concept for FR cars, by using the rear brake bias, except also you have to brake gently as well and not turn the wheel so much in the medium to high corners where you have to lift and or brake sometimes. So yeah, those are quite a number of techniques you can use to save the tires, especially in high tire wear races where in Group 4, you have like the Alpha and the Magan Trophy being OP on the tire wear, so you have to
Yeah.
fight those cars all the time.
Aye, because they are very strong, aren't they? But no, that's fantastic. Well, I'm sure those watching will have their notebooks out and they've been taking notes to get. In fact, here Nick says thanks for that. He's obviously he's written down everything you've said, so now he knows what to do. But I'm going to move on and ask another question to Chupaghetti. Now, Chupa, you were a driver coach before. You were obviously doing race coaching back in the Philippines. Now, this must be an absolute minefield of great stories if you've been teaching people how to race. Now, you must have had some extremely scary and crazy drivers that all thought,
Yes.
I'm a racing driver.
Yes.
Tell us some of your best stories of some of the craziest people you've had to teach.
Oh my God! It's always scary. All right, it's always scary when I have a female student. It's always scary. I don't want to say that I just don't want to say anything negative, but I'm just always scared that when I'm gonna be teaching a female and that I have to ride along with her inside the car. So, what one of my inside our race cars before that we use, I have a brake pedal on my side, on the passenger side. So if in any case that I think or I feel that my student is actually driving dangerously or is driving like a whack, that I need to slow the car down. I have to absolutely slow the car down. So there was one time that I was teaching this girl, this female student. All right. Now, you guys know me. I love the females. All right. I love them. And she was absolutely pretty gorgeous. All right. This girl is absolutely pretty gorgeous. And she has been a regular. I've been teaching her for the last 2 months, I believe, before whatever it is that I'm going to tell happened. So she's always requesting me to be her instructor because I was the guy that groomed her for the past 2 months that she's been going with the school. And there was this one time that she says, Terrence, my real name is Terrence, by the way, if you guys don't know. So she was asking me, Terrence, is it possible for you to ride along with me? Because I want to show you something that I think I've learned, something that I think I've discovered. And then because for the last like 2 weeks before that, I was letting her go alone. I was only monitoring her via radio, in-car radio, right? And the camera. So with that one, she says that she discovered something new and she wants to share it with me. So okay, I rode along, strapped my, wore my overalls, wear my helmet, got me strapped into the seat and everything. And this was in the morning, like the morning, as in the morning. So the track is absolutely dusty. It was absolutely dusty. All right. And she didn't know that at the first, when you start the day going to the racetrack at the start of the day, and the racetrack, by the way, is what do you call this? Near a construction facility. So there's a lot of dust really blown on the track. So I told her, okay, so whatever it is that you're going to show me, I just want you to know before we drive out the pits, you have to take it slow because the track is slippery. There's a lot of debris and a lot of fallen trees, the leaves. So it makes the track slippery. So Okay, she went out. We went out. We went out. First lap was okay. She said, Terrence, I think I want to push it now. I think I want to push it. And I'm telling her, okay, just drive around 80% because, I still felt that the track is
Yeah.
still not on the right conditions where you really want to push. It's not
Yeah.
fully green yet. So,
Yeah.
oh my God, she just, after the first corner, she went for it. She went for it, literally went for it, went 9,000 RPMs on the car, paddle shifted the gear. And the next corner was a chicane. Now the chicane looks like looks like a bus stop. You enter at around fourth gear, around roughly 200, 215, 220 Ks. And then
Yeah.
you step hard on the brakes. You have to slow it down to second gear to try and make the corner. So when she stepped on the brakes, fuck, the brake locked. It locked. It it locked, and she braked at around 80 meters. So I was like, in my mind, it's like, okay, what the hell? What the hell? What the hell? And I mean, the seat belts on a race car is like it's a harness,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
I was like, what, wait. And then I instantly stepped on the brake, and then knowing that we had nowhere to go and we're gonna be crashing into the tire barriers. When she turned in, I instantly flicked the handbrake so that the car would spin, or else we're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it. We're gonna destroy the car, and of course, since I'm sitting inside, I'll be liable. So I gotta make sure I gotta whack the handbrake and had this, and I told her, I told you, be easy, easy peasy, easy, like Mr. Cuts, easy peasy. So yeah, I mean, that's one of the scary things. And then I also had an experience where um teaching a young lad, teaching a young lad. This young lad came from karting, wanted to try touring cars. Okay, specifically, it's a Ford Focus touring car. Um, he came from karting, and wanted to go into touring cars. So we had a program before wherein the new guys get to try like an autocross, so that it's low speed. They try to feel the car and everything. Um, but apparently, on during that autocross, when I was teaching him, there was a corner there. If you really overshoot it, you fall down the ditch.
Goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. You fall down the ditch. I mean, that's the part of the track. I mean,
Yeah.
and I actually told them to, I think we need to refine this section right here because it's quite dangerous. Like I was telling it to them back way before, over the years. And some of the guys were not really saying that, no, nobody's gonna fall on the ditch. Nobody's gonna fall on the ditch. You guys will be good. And what's weird was it never happened, but on that specific day, and I was riding inside when he stepped on the brakes. When the student, the little guy, stepped on the brakes, the brake pedal went together with the gas pedal. He
Goodness.
stepped on it at the same time, which was
Wow.
weird. He stepped on it at the same time. My foot was on the passenger seat. I tried to really slow the car down with my foot, but since he's stepping on it both at the same time, we actually fell down the ditch. Yeah, the car completely whacked. We fell down the ditch, and it was absolutely funny. It was absolutely funny. So, the guy. Of course, I mean, when the incident happened, we tried to. The boys helped us out. Everybody on the track helped us out. We made sure that the kid was okay. And when he was out, I was still sitting there in the track. Nobody's helping me. You know, I was sitting. Hey, hey, where? Hey, gloves and helmet. Gloves. I was like, Kimmy, hey, where's my gloves? So I was there sitting like nobody knew that I was there. Not until about like 30 minutes after that they found out I was missing, and somebody came back, and I was still sitting there all wet. So yeah, I mean, yeah, one of the crazy stories. Sorry, guys, I
No,
had
no, it's
to
funny.
share
Fantastic.
the
No, it's brilliant.
experience. So
It's
yeah,
brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Now, we've got
sorry,
a few
boys.
questions. Sean has joined the chat as well. So a big shout out to Sean, who was one of the main people saying you've got to get Chupa on the show. And now we have, of course, two Asian sensations on today. We've got Danny here as well. Now, we did get a question earlier on from Mew Mew, and it says, have you ever taken part in any national competitions? And if so, how have you done in them? And this is for Danny.
National competitions, yes. I have taken part in three national competitions. Two of them happened. Wait, is it two or three? Wait, sorry, four. But three of them were. It's actually the same competition, just different editions. My first Gran Turismo Sport national competition was the ERGP Southeast Asia 2019 tournament in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. It was organized by the one and only Alex Hill, former Formula One driver from Malaysia, who has raced in
Oh, yeah.
Minardi. Teammates
Yeah,
being
yeah.
he was teammates with Fernando Alonso back in the early 2000s.
Uh-huh.
So yes, he and his company called Axel Sports organized a competition for on Gran Turismo Sport, and back when this was a time when I was really bad in the game, not like now where I'm competing at the highest level. This that was back then in 2019. I wasn't good. So I made it to the national finals of the tournament, which was a top 15 at the time. Didn't go too well, but my semi-final races were pretty good. This aspect of getting into grips with the game, and I did well in the semi-final races, getting two podiums. If I'm not mistaken, I got two. The first race I got a podium at Seaside in the M6, and the third race was the podium in Red Bull Ring in the NSX Group 3. And but the finals didn't go too well because I finished about last, almost close to last, because I there was one combo I did not have much practice of, which was Interlagos in the Mercedes Group 3, the AMT Group 3. So, but the other rounds I just had a bit of bad luck here and there. And then the next national tournament I competed in, which they had three, I taken part in three of the editions from 2019 to 2021. It's called the Toyota Gazoo Racing Velocity Tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Toyota
Yeah,
Velocity
yeah.
Tournament in Malaysia, held annually since 2018,
Mm-hmm.
where the winner wins about £4,000 equivalent of
Wow.
cash.
Yeah.
I've taken part since 2019, and um, how we qualify for the finals is that we go through a set of time trials, all Toyota cars only,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I managed to qualify always in like top 10, top 15. But here's one thing about the national tournaments. I always regret um not doing this, is that I don't practice a lot for the national tournaments, which I should have been doing more, because again the prize pool is quite big. So I didn't do too well. Although some of the semi-final races over the years I've done quite well. But then when you come to the later rounds, I lose my motivation and focus, and I unfortunately crumble. So all the years I've not made it to the finals of the national competitions, which is for me personally, it's been quite embarrassing, given that I can compete in the highest levels of the international competitions like the FI Grand Turismo Championships, and recently qualifying for the Asia regional finals with Chupaghetti
Uh-huh.
over here. However, in terms of national competitions in Malaysia, embarrassingly, I would say that I've not done well. However, in Malaysia, we have some fast drivers as well. Recently, Taj Aiman has won the last two Toyota Varsity tournaments and has represented Malaysia in the Toyota Gazoo Racing regional finals as well, along with the Malaysian contingent with Iqbal Suji as well for 2 years in a row. So I'm happy for them. They're actually quite fast. So they have my
Yeah.
support in those tournaments as well.
Now, we had a question here as well, saying, Danny, that you're the number one sim racer in Malaysia. Is that correct?
No. In terms of sim racing, no. That if you look at the other platforms like Raceroom and iRacing, there are some fast Malaysians as well. In iRacing, in Raceroom, yes. I've been following some of the recent competitions. There's some fast Malaysians there, like Nakib Aslan. I hope I get his name right. Racing on the top level of in the Raceroom part of in the racing competitions like the E1 Championship over there. He has been doing really well, beating the likes of Alif Hamilton, the Singapore's number one sim racer over there. In Gran Turismo Sport, yes, Taj Aiman is quite fast. Even if he doesn't compete with me or against me in the FI competitions or the Porsche Cup recently, he has been very competitive in the TGR regional finals, and he can set really fast times if he does time trials, whichever account he uses to do time trials in. So a lot of respect for Taj Aiman there as well. So
Yeah.
some people might say I'm number one, even if I've qualified for the regional finals and my successes in Gran Turismo Sport in specifically FI competitions. But no, I'm not the outright fastest. I'm still learning and improving.
Oh, that's fantastic. But we've got lots of fans here who are certainly supporting you. Now, Sean has asked a good question. He says, ask Danny why he decided to let Chupaghetti down and make him go for Citroen this year.
What?
Or maybe,
What?
or is that for you, Terence? I'll let you answer
No,
that.
no,
if you
no,
like.
no. It's. I think the question is for Danny. I don't think
It's
it's
for
mine.
Danny. It's for me.
It's for
What?
Danny. It's for
I
Danny.
don't understand what Sean asked. I don't understand what he asked.
It says it sounds like you forced Terence to go for Citroen this year for manufacturers. Is that true?
Oh.
Is
Well,
that to guarantee you'll beat
he
him?
was having trouble choosing a manufacturer, and this was based on my success with the manufacturer of Citroen. I've gotten 300 points in top speed with the Citroen in the high tire races, and outdrove the Group 4 car in a few combos here and there. So I was trying to convince him to go to Citroen based off my experience. So I was hoping because because my plan was to teach him how to drive the car, and also a few other EME drivers like Jack Bowling Racing, very young talent who went with Citroen as well. Also helping Chupaghetti be fast with the Citroen, and although he's getting better still. Yeah, it's really great to see his progress with Citroen, even if he did not like the handling of both Group 3 and Group 4, actually. And I was in the Discord party with him during if I'm not mistaken, during the Suzuka race, and he was complaining about, oh no, I'm so slow in this car, you know. But again, we me and Jack have been really supportive towards Chupaghetti in terms of getting his pace up with the Citroens, whether it be the Group 3 or the Group 4. And to be fair, yes, he has shown to find a bit more pace overall, whether it be qualifying or race pace. And
Yeah.
we see in the coming rounds how he does. But
Yeah.
it's an upward trajectory of
Yeah.
his skill.
Definitely.
This will improve his skill more because he's used to
Definitely.
driving front wheel drive cars, and
Yeah.
he has not much experience with mid engine cars like the Citroen. So this will be very helpful for him, and
Yeah.
which is why he went with Citroen to improve. He wants to improve as a driver, so we are helping him.
Excellent. Now we've got Keirith Cart in the chat. It's good to see Keirith. We need to get you back on the show, Keirith. You need to message me when we can get you back on. But you've got a question for Danny. It says, what's it like dealing with the pressure of being a number one driver?
The pressure, yes, I do feel a lot of pressure because a lot of people have high expectations of me to do well. Yes, I just tend to focus on myself a lot. I don't get too bothered by the pressure. Especially when I'm practicing or whatever. I just try to improve as much as I can. Practice smart, not practice hard. And but yeah, the only time I really feel the pressure is when I'm in the actual FI or sport mode lobby, like in the extra points lobby. That's when my heart rate goes up, and I feel the pressure when my heart starts beating out of my chest in qualifying. That's when I really feel the pressure. And when the race intro comes in, and then you get the music and the grid lines up, and then the pressure just keeps going up and up and up, and then you be like, you just got to get your mind in the game. You don't think about anything else. You don't think about the pressure as well. You just think, okay, how am I going to get through this race? Just think about all the practices you have done. Apply what you have learned from the practices, and just do your best, basically.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you've done your best, it's good enough.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Now, going back to you, Chupa, because you've got all this race instruction experience, then you're big on Gran Turismo. What you must have thought when you first came to Gran Turismo or playing these games alongside racing for real, this gaming thing must be easy. Were there any big shocks that you had from going from real racing and instruction to gaming? What was that like?
Well, for me, to be honest, I'm not really. I didn't have that much difficulty adjusting from real life to sim. It's because before I became an instructor, I was already in love with video games. So I was already playing Gran Turismo like way before I even started to have work. So it was just a good experience for me to be able to at least get to experience both both sides of the world. Like, you get to do sim, you get to do the real thing, and you get to in a way try to replicate what you know in the sim and put it in real, and what you know in real that you can actually put into the sim. So it actually works hand in hand. Although I'm not really the best driver, I'm not even okay. So so
I don't believe that.
Yeah, I'm just an average, average pleb.
I don't know if I believe that, but no, that's the thing. But well, I mean, the thing is, it's. Oh yes, this was the next question I wanted to ask you. What are your least favorite GT Sport combinations?
Oh, least favorites.
Yeah, the ones you hate the most. You cannot stand.
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot. Like, I hate Dragon Trail. I don't know if it's just me. I just hate Dragon Trail. That chicane of death is really gonna kill you. So I really hate that. I hate the last I absolutely hate the last corner in Fuji. I don't know why. I just absolutely hate it.
Yeah, it's off camber, and you have to kind of
it's off camber. It has a very late apex. You can do a lot of lines to it, and I just hate it. I don't know why. And lastly, I hate Catalonia. It's so hard, It's
it's on quite
technical.
A lot.
It's so technical. Yeah, it's so technical, and it actually separates. I mean, Catalonia actually separates the boys from the men, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And for me, being gay, I'm gay boy men, so I'm on gay side. So yeah. So yeah.
To be fair, GT Sport has the old Catalonia. It doesn't have the new GP
Yeah,
circuit
it's
in
the
terms
old
of
version.
it's got the old because the new one's got a slightly different that kind of hairpin left that they had at the far
Yeah,
end of the
yeah, yeah.
circuit. It's now a bit
Mhm.
less, isn't it? But yeah, so no, see, I love doing things like Mini Coopers at Brands Hatch or Suzuka East. I think they're quite fun because you can just blast away and have a go.
Yeah.
And the front drive stuff is quite fun. But I like the Group 4. Group 4 is one of my favourite ones, and I'm working on my pace for Group 3, but I've got a long way to go. Now, Keith has also asked another funny question for Danny. He says, when can we expect to see you in FIA Formula 2?
Formula 2?
Ooh.
Yes.
I think I'm too old for Formula 2, let alone real life racing. Because if I want to like join Formula 2, I should have started from the bottom of motorsport, which we've been karting like 15 years ago. I'm turning 21 next month, so I'm too old to start any competitive single seater racing. I mean, I'm not too old to go for touring cars, but I'm not physically fit. If you disregard the age factor, I'm not physically fit. I don't have the stamina. I don't have the build or the physical training. No.
Mm, mm. That's the thing. And now, ERM Nick has said, what is Danny's best car and track combination?
Oh, I have a few actually. I have a few favorite track and car combinations. The first one would be Monza Group 4.
Uh-huh.
Because I like Monza is my favorite track in Gran Turismo Sport, even if I've not done a lot of FIA races there. But time trial wise, it's been my most successful track in terms of time trial. Every Monza combo this year, minimum top 10 all the time.
Wow. Yeah,
Um,
that's pretty good.
but Monza Group 4, Monza Group 3, and Circuit de la Sarthe Group 1, Circuit de la Sarthe, X19. Those four are my top four favorite combos of all time in Gran Turismo Sport, because those cars, not those cars, those tracks being high speed temples of motorsport, Monza being the high speed temple of Formula One, and La Sarthe being one of the homes for world endurance racing. And
Yeah.
I just love the atmospheres at both tracks, and also the layouts, long straights and heavy braking zones, which allows for great racing. And not just great racing, but even when hard lapping in those tracks, if you can nail the chicane, like take the fastest lines and all that, it just feels really good, nailing the chicanes.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
yeah, those are my favorite corners in racing overall, chicanes, because you can stomp on the brakes and just find how much limit you can take on cutting the chicanes. If you can find the perfect limit, then it feels good. It has
Yeah.
a feel good feeling.
It's a real tricky one, especially at Monza, knowing how to get the chicanes right there, isn't it? It's very, very tricky. But
Yeah, it's,
no, that's a great thing. Now we've got a few more people who have come into the chat. We've got Shirality. It's good to see you. We've got Dave Cam as well. Now Dave Cam's a big YouTuber, lots of iRacing experience. We had him on a few weeks ago in a fantastic interview there. So it's great to have you on the show. And he said, "I wish I was as fit and young, I presume, as Danny there, and or perhaps as Chupa as well. As young and as fit as you guys, ready to go out there and race away." But no, it's fantastic to see everyone coming in to the chat and asking questions. And it's good to see your car and track combinations. Chupa, what's your favourite track and car combination?
My favorite track and car combination. I don't know. Probably the Nordschleife. Probably the Nordschleife and probably the Samba bus on the Nordschleife. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, everybody's gonna be.
I won't ask you any questions about stamina and fitness for your Samba bus requirements.
No, there's no need. There's no need. Even if even if we're really, 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 really not as healthy as we can all drive it. So yeah.
Now that's the thing. Now, we believe it, we've been talking for over an hour now here live on the Car 7 Race Driver Show with our Asian sensations. It is, of course, Chupaghetti TV and Danny Racing. So it's great to see you, and it's fantastic to have you there on both. But if you like all these interviews, is what you've seen already today, then please consider subscribing to our channel here at the Hugh Hattrick channel, because we've got lots. We've got Super GT, we've got Tidsney, we've got Dave Cam, we've got Keirth Cart, we've got Arias, Rory Alexander, we've had Tidsney, we have mentioned him twice. We've got great racing drivers like David Perel as well, and a whole host, over 2 years worth of fantastic interviews, and it's all there if you subscribe to the channel. But to Chupaghetti, what would you like to say to your community of very loyal and enthusiastic fans? What do you love about them? What do you hate about them?
Well, actually, what I loved about them is just them being them. You know, these guys are just literally just loved me for the all the stupid things that I do, and because of that, I love them back, because who I mean, for me as a normal guy, if you're outside of the camera, outside of YouTube, like when you see something stupid, I mean, I always love people doing stupid stuff, and I do the same. So, I mean, I'm more of like a comedian, and I really just love the stupid and the silly stuff all the time. So it just gets me cracking. So I'm just trying to give back rather. I'm just trying to give it back to the streams, to be silly, stupid, funny, and I think that's what that's what I love about these people that love me back. So yeah, them just being them just loving me for being me, absolutely stupid and crazy. So yeah. So yeah.
Now, you've had a request from GT Rebecca. She says, sing your song, Chupa. Please sing your song.
Sing my song. Which song?
It's the Benny Barocca. Benny Barocca.
No. Tis the season, tis the season. It's November 1st. Tis the season, You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Chupaghetti's coming to town. Yahoo! Oh yeah!
Well, that's a world first. A world first on the Car 7 Race Driver Show. Yes, they did it. They did it indeed. That's brilliant. I have to say, from watching your channel in the last wee while, it is very, very amusing, and it's very, very funny how you do it, and also how you keep a straight face to be able to race as well, with all of these things going on at the same time is brilliant. So what do you think it is that allows you to be so fast? Because obviously you're winning, you're doing well at competitions and GT sports. What's your keys to success, Chupa?
Again,
For
my key, if it's anything in regards with success, even if it's in racing, I think, this is the serious Chupa side. This is, you hit my meow meow. But yeah, I mean, but I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, the key to success for me, even in racing, is all the failures that I have. I always look at all my failures and try to find me looking absolutely gutted and stupid. I want to become a better driver, because I don't want to see myself when I usually I replay the stream after I stream, like when I'm eating dinner. Just try to look at myself, how I drive, especially if I have a bad race. And I just try to suck up everything, all the failures that I've done, and try to look at like all the other alternatives that I can actually look at for me to become better. So lately, I think lately I've been too serious. I think I've been too serious lately, on just probably the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks. It's because I really want to become better. Like, I really want to take my skill like a notch up. And for me to be able to do that, I think um, I have to really focus on all the races that I'm doing lately, even though it's just an exhibition series, even though it's just a, a some people say that it's, it's just an exhibition series. Why do you take it so seriously? I get that. I remember reading that somewhere in the live stream, sometime this week or last week rather, and it's just, if you don't take it seriously, um if you don't take even the exhibition series seriously, then how would I become better? How would I
Yeah.
take my skill like a notch higher? How would I be able to improve all the stupid things that I'm doing on the track? um and I think uh that's my focus, I mean, for me.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's good
To
to know, and yeah, definitely good tips there. To It's for everyone really, is to learn from your failures and to keep doing it, and but also to have fun at the same time, which is exactly what your channel is all about. Now, and I think a kind of fitting sense of how we can round up the show. We've got a question here from Ernest, who may not be a friend of yours after this question, but it says it says 0 to 60 on women. Who's faster,
oh
Chupa or
oh
Danny?
oh let's see Danny's answer.
Wait, what is it again?
0 to 60 on women. Who is faster, Chupa or Danny?
Oh, 0 to 60. I don't know. I really don't know.
Zero.
I'll leave.
No, it's the question was 0 to 60 on women. On
Oh,
women. On women. Not on a car. Not on a game. On women. Who's
zero to
faster?
60. I think I would have to say what, 30? I think 30.
What about you, Chupa?
What? Me? I love the women.
Yeah.
I just love them. Come to Chupapi. Oh yeah. I just love them. I mean, if I was given the question, if who's faster than women, me or Danny, I think Danny's faster. I think
Well,
Danny's faster.
that now here's a question that's come up here by one of our moderators. Rue has said, "I have a question. Who is the better singer? Is it Chupaghetti or Thea from the Amazons?" You may be familiar with Thea. Have you?
Thea.
Because she,
Thea.
yeah,
Who's Thea?
she's the Amazons. She's a streamer on YouTube, and she also sings. She's French, and she will sing as well. But if you're not familiar with her, that's a close call, I have to say, because you both
But
have unique styles to your singing.
is she sexy though?
I will let you watch. I will let you go and find her channel, and then you can. It would be.
Ooh, yes, yes. Oh, that's gonna be nice. Yeah, I'd love to see her. Yeah, for sure.
But no, she's a very good racer. Does a lot of racing on ACC, on a set of course at Competizione.
I would
And is very
probably love
fast.
her. I would marry her. I think I would. I think I would. I think I
That-
would.
I knew you answered that.
I will. I will. Oh
uh,
my God.
but on that note, we've been going for an hour and 10 minutes. We better round up. We better round up the chat before goodness knows where it takes us. But on the one, but it's been an absolute pleasure to have the two of you, Danny and to Terence Chupaghetti, here, the Asian sensations, the #1 in Malaysia, and I'm sure a huge star in the Philippines there with Chupaghetti TV. Now, if you haven't already signed up to there or subscribed to the channels, the links are in the description along with ours as well. But what would you like to say in closing? I'll start with Chupaghetti. What would you like to say to your fans?
First and foremost, well, of course, I'd like to thank you, of course, none other than Hugh, for having us here on your show. It's a big, big pleasure to be here. I was so happy having with all the conversations that we had here. It was an absolute blast to be here, and I'm very, very honored. And to all our viewers, I just hope, you guys would still continue to support us. I just hope that you guys are very entertained about what we do. And I love you guys. I mean, I really love you. If not for you guys, I wouldn't be here on Hugh's show. So it's because of you guys. That's why I'm here. So thank you so much. Love you guys.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. And to you, Danny, what would you like to say to your supporters and fans here as well?
Yeah, first of all, I have to say that thank you, Hugh, for having me and Chupaghetti on the show tonight as well. If it wasn't for Chupaghetti asking me a few years ago whether I'd like to be on the show with you, then I wouldn't be here. So I want to thank Chupaghetti as well for letting me know and inviting me for double appearance. And I like to thank my fans and supporters, close friends, and family for their support over the years, helping me become the driver I am today, and with all the successes that I've had in all the Gran Turismo competitions I've done. It's for you guys, not just for me, it's just for you guys, for your support and dedication. So massive thank you from the bottom of my heart.
No, that's the thing. Now just Blaster Anonymous was quickly saying, what was your favorite and least favorite tracks? But you've already answered that. It was Monza and Le Mans were your favorite tracks. Your least favorite track. What was your least favorite? I can't remember actually. What was
least favorite? Oh, I didn't. No one asked me this, so I didn't. Oh, okay. Least favorite track. This is a tough one. My least favorite track is actually Autopolis. The whole Autopolis layer.
All right.
The first half of the track is okay. Hence, Autopolis short is okay. But the rest of Autopolis, after the uphill happened, I cannot drive that section.
It is difficult.
No matter how good I am now, I cannot drive that section. It's just impossible. I'm so bad at that section of track, the last sector. I cannot drive for the whole Autopolis. I cannot. I'm not good there. That's my least favorite track.
Well, that's, I think, all the questions answered that we have here. But look, it's been fantastic to have you both on the show. Stay on the line as we close it. But to everyone who's watching, and we have Bracing Racing on Thursday at 9 o'clock. So make sure you don't miss that. He'll be our next guest this Thursday coming. But it's fantastic to have you on the show tonight. And to everyone watching, you've been watching the Car Sim and Race Driver Show. And our famous motto is, drive fast and try not to crash. And if you do, you might just win the race at the first corner. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.